Shalom, shalom, Israel. Excuse me. First, giving honor to the Most High and His Son, Yahushua. Today's class is the Feast of Purim. Excuse me. Basically, just going to be going over the book of Esther. Kind of skimming through. We would be here all night if we did every verse throughout each book of the chapter. Throughout each chapter of the book. So, but we will be going over the Feast of Purim. But again, let's get into it. Go ahead and give me Romans 15 and 4.
The book of Romans, chapter 15 and verse 4. For whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning.
For our what, bro?
Were written for our learning.
Read.
That we, through patience and comfort of the scriptures, might have hope.
See, these things are set in place, man, for us to learn, to gain the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, so that we can thus forth pass this information on to the next generation and so on and so forth. This, man, it's not just something to read. I mean, yes, it's something to read, but there's a reason behind it. You know what I'm saying? Our forefathers and foremothers made decisions, whether they were good or whether they were bad. We can learn from those experiences. We can learn from those choices that were made and ultimately divert from making the wrong decisions. You know what I'm saying? This is, in all essence, a cheat code. You know what I mean? But we're going to get into it. Go ahead and go to Esther and start chapter 1, verse 10. So,
the book of Esther, chapter 1, verse 10.
This is dealing with Persian media, right? So go ahead and read it out.
On the 7th day, when the heart of the king was merry with wine, he commanded Mayhem, Mehuman, Bista, Harbona, Bigtha, and Abagtha, Zethar, and Carcass, the 7 cherubims that serve in the presence of Ashurus the king, to bring Ashti the queen, before the king with the crown royal, to shew the people and the prince her beauty, for she was far to look on.
It says she was fair to look on. Read.
But the queen, Ashti, refused to come at the king's commandment by his cherubims. Therefore was the king very wroth, and his anger burned in him.
So again, this is during the Persians and Medes, man. So this whole setup is going to be displayed for our people will be persecuted. Just like when you see and you read for destruction of Nicanor, our people will be persecuted for who they are, for their faith, for what they believe in. And it's going to be a certain brother and a certain sister that's going to show why the Lord power is so great, man. Through their actions, through their faith, right? This is going into the setup, right? Jump over to verse 17.
Verse 17. For this deed of the queen shall come abroad unto all women, so that they shall despise their husbands in their eyes, when it shall be reported, the king Ashurus commanded Ashti the queen to be brought in before him, but she came not.
See, it's already being hard-headed and didn't want to be forthcoming already. So she's setting an example right now. Turn that generator on for me out, so we can turn this fan on. Already setting a bad example. Disobeying, right? Being hard-headed, being difficult to deal with. You know what I'm saying? This type of spirit, man, isn't just, you know what I'm saying, amongst our people. That's a spirit in general. We all, not only our sisters, but our brothers can be hard-headed. Our brothers can be hard to deal with, not wanting to listen, not wanting to take instruction, not wanting to follow orders, not wanting to follow instruction, not wanting to do anything that requires them to listen. That word right there. This not just in other nations, man. This is a spirit that is dangerous amongst all people, man.
Bring it on.
But read on.
Verse 18. Likewise shall the ladies of Persia and Media say this day unto all kings, princes, which have heard of the deed of the queen. Thus shall there arise too much contempt and wrath.
So she's basically setting all this in motion, being a bad example for younger sisters.
Bring it out.
Right? So when you look just in general of how we are to carry ourselves if we call ourselves of Christ, right? Christ was in order. What needed to be done was done, thus say the Lord. A lot of us, man, we don't want to do what's needed to be done, or we don't want to follow order. We don't want to follow instruction. We just want to do what we want to do when we want to do it and how we want to do it. And things don't never turn out the way you want it to. Order is one of the things that people run from. Structure.
That's right.
Is what people run from. Chaos and confusion is what a lot of people want to live in, is what a lot of people thrive in, so they think. But this is setting a bad example, right? Read.
Verse 19. If it please the king, let there go a royal commandment for him, and let it be written among the law of the Persians and of the Medes, that it be not altered, that Ashti come no more before King Ahasuerus, and let the king give her royal estate unto another that is better than she.
So now she put herself in a position where she's going to be stripped of everything because of her disobedience, because of her hard-headedness, because of her being difficult to deal with. Read on.
And when the king's decree, which shall make Slakia, and when the king's decree, which he shall make, shall be published throughout all his empire, for it is great. All the wives shall give to their husbands honor, both to great and small.
Let's say all wives are to give unto their husbands honor, both great and small, man. When you read that and you look at how things are now in this dispensation of time, you don't see that. You don't see that at all. Most of the households are turned upside down. The man essentially is the woman is essentially the man, and everything is flipped upside down and turned sideways. But for the brothers that are showing themselves to be leaders in the household, man, to showing themselves to be fathers, to be men, upright men in the community, to do the things that are righteous and right, bro.
Bring it out.
Do they get their just due? You know what I'm saying? Even those brothers and sisters, even those brothers that may not call themselves in the truth, man, but are breaking their back for their households, doing what they can, man, to provide, to be there, to be present. You think they getting honor in their household? Nah. But see, that's what this modern society that we have, man, it does. It literally turns households upside down. Men cower in their own homes, afraid to speak.
Bring it up.
Women, masculine as hell, loud, aggressive. It's backwards, man.
Bring it out.
For a woman, man, your power is in your softness. Your power is being a woman, a lady. But this masculine spirit, man, that mug run rampant throughout our community, man. That plan has been successful for years now.
Teach.
Sisters have ingrained that same spirit into their daughters, man. Their daughters carry that same thing over. Because now, it's really not a lot of households married, man. You got a lot of baby mama, baby daddy drama. You got a lot of broken homes. You know what I'm saying? Man can't be a man in the house because sister done ran him off. But it also goes the other way. Men are soft. Very soft in the middle, man.
Bring it out.
Emotional. Can't take criticism. Lazy. Don't want to do anything. Like, these things plague our communities, man. And this book, bro, it's showing you all facets of life that we still deal with right now in this dispensation of time. But I digress. Read on, verse 21.
Verse 21. And the saying pleased the king and the princes. And the king did according to the word of Memucan.
So again, this was a decree because of the queen and her difficultness that he was going to essentially give what was hers to another sister, to another lady, to another woman, because she was not honoring her husband, right? Go to chapter 2, verse 8.
The book of Esther, chapter 2, verse 8.
Read that out.
So it came to pass, when the king's commandment and his decree was heard, and when many maidens were gathered together unto Shushan the palace, to the custody of Haggai, that Esther was brought also unto the king's house.
So Esther, right? Fair. Beautiful maiden. But a maiden also brought up by a righteous brother. But one that instilled knowledge, wisdom, and understanding on the word of the Lord, how she should carry herself, how things should operate, how she should be, how a lady should operate.
Bring it out.
A father being a father, providing the wisdom and instruction unto their children, right? Read.
To the custody of Haggai, keeper of the woman. And the maiden pleased him, and she obtained kindness of him. And he speedily gave her things for purification, with such things as belongeth to her, and 7 maidens, which were meant to be given her out of the king's house. And he preferred her and her maids unto the best place of the house of the women.
Again, sisters, man, your power is in your softness, man. Your power is in you being a lady, bro. That masculine spirit, bro. It's just like men with those effeminate and feminine spirits. It don't match. Paying attention, man, to what you see. They blast it everywhere. It's on every form of media. Media. It's on every form: radio, TV, magazines, billboards, songs, music, everything you can think of. They've been running game, man, and the game has been successful for years.
Bring it out.
And it's been successful because we kept pushing the same doctrine, pushing the same doctrine. Read.
Verse 10. Esther had not shown her people nor her kindred, for Mordecai had charged her that she should not show it.
So Mordecai charged her that she should not show who her people are. This is going to come in play later on when we read. There's a reason. There's a reason why he did not tell her to display this information, man. There's a reason, and she what? She listened unto that father figure. She took heed unto instruction. A lot of our sisters, man, they don't like that. They don't like that. Because if it goes against what they want to do or how they feel in that moment, because everything is very emotional.
Teach.
They don't listen. And come back, burn and bite them. Just think about it. You even now have this movement where the quote unquote woman don't need no man, is how they say it, right? You seen the videos, man, social media, man, they play them. You know what I'm saying? Putting washer fluid in your in your engine oil, trying to change a tire with no jack. You know what I'm saying? This is just simple things, man. But yet you so independent and so gung ho and so masculine that you're not paying attention to what you're doing, not asking no questions. All type of information, man, and direction on how to do these things is available, but you're not listening. You're not actively seeking it. You're just doing what you feel and what you think is right.
Bring it out.
Causing more problems. Way more problems and issues on down the line, man. But see, that's the type of culture, man. That's the type of spirit that that the world brings when you let it in. When you operate on the flesh, when you operate on that lower frequency, man. That's the type of decision making that you deal with. Those are the type of consequences you have to deal with. Read it again. Verse 10.
Verse 10. Esther had not showed her people nor her kindred, for Mordecai had charged her that she should not show it.
Jump over to verse 15.
Verse 15. Now, when the turn of Esther, the daughter of Abihail, the uncle of Mordecai, who had taken her for his daughter, to come to go unto the king, she required nothing but what Haggai the king chamberlain, the keeper of the woman, appointed. And Esther obtained favor in the sight of all of them that looked upon her. So Esther was taken unto King Ahasuerus, unto his house, royal in the 10th month, which is the month Tebeth, in the 7th year of his reign. And the king loved Esther above all the women.
See, she found favor in her softness and her beauty, the thing that the Lord blessed her with, right? But again, Esther didn't just be beautiful, right? She was taught. She listened. She was instructed, and she followed instructions. These things come into play. There's a reason why you're told to listen. There's a reason why you're told to implement the teachings. These things are going to come into play. Read.
And she obtained grace and favor in his sight more than all the virgins, so that he set the royal crown upon her head and made her queen instead of Ashti.
So she has been elevated into this status. Because again, when we go back, when we first read, she was being difficult. She was being unladylike. She was not honoring her husband. So the decision was made to what? Find someone who would. Find someone who would listen. Find someone who would display that softness, right?
Bring it out.
Jump over to verse 20.
Verse 20. Esther had not yet showed her kindred, nor her people, as Mordecai had charged her. For Esther did the commandment of Mordecai, like as when she was brought up with him.
So again, man, this was that father figure. This was instilled that knowledge, wisdom, and understanding unto Esther. She listened. This is why it's so important, man, for fathers to be present, not only for daughters, but for the children in general.
Bring it out.
I'm saying it's trying to do things with just one side. It's gonna be difficult. A child is going to need that softness and nurturing, that softness and nurturing from the mother, but also is going to need that stern and stability, man, and that correction and instruction from the father. It's hard for one parent, man, to display both of these things without it clashing. A mother can't teach a son to be a man. He can't. He can't. That's why that father is important. You know what I'm saying? A father is important to show a daughter of the type of man that she should be looking for because of how the father treats the wife and the daughter.
Bring it out.
The daughter should want to find a husband as good as what the father was.
Bring it out.
Or better. So, my brothers, man, that have daughters, bro, when you send them off, man, when they become their own, man, when they start seeking, you know what I'm saying, the affection of the man, you want them to look for somebody that is of your status or better.
Bring it out.
Because of how you treated her. She should know what to look for. She should know all of the BS and all of the games, man, that can be played. Because you showed her, you taught her. She's experienced what an actual man is. She experienced what a father is. She experienced what a husband should be. Through the experience of her mother, your wife. This is important. But do we talk about these things?
Bring it out.
Is it brought up in the media? No. Is it talked about amongst families? No. But it should be. This is why this book is important, man. This book touches these things.
Yes, sir.
This is why it's important, man, to have both facets of the household, the mother and the father. Read verse 20 again, start from the top.
Verse 20. Esther had not yet showed her kindred nor her people, as Mordecai had charged her. For Esther did the commandment of Mordecai, like as when she was brought up with him. Verse 21.
Read.
In those days, while Mordecai sat in the king's gate, two of the king's chamberlains, Bigthan and Teresh, of those which kept the door, were wroth, and sought to lay hand on the king's assurance.
So these two chamberlains, man, were plotting on the king, right? And Mordecai
Bring it out.
just so happened to be around. And these two chamberlains, man, were plotting on the king. Read.
Verse 22. And the thing was known to Mordecai, who told it unto Esther the queen. And Esther certified the king thereof in Mordecai's name. And when inquisition was made of the matter, it was found out. Therefore, they were both hung on a tree. And it was written in the book of Chronicles before the king.
So by Mordecai being there to witness the plot against the king, it gave favor not only to him, but as well to Esther in the eyes of the king, because they essentially forwarded a plot on the king, right?
Bring it out.
Finding favor, right? But again, it gets more as we read the story, because there's a reason why Mordecai did not let her speak on of her people. But keep in mind this transaction right now of Mordecai providing information to save the king's life, right? Favor with him and Esther. Jump over to chapter 3, verse 3.
The book of Esther, chapter 3, verse 3. Then the king's servant, which were in the king's gate, said unto Mordecai, Why transgresseth thou the king's commandment? Now it came to pass, when they spake daily unto him, and he hearkened not unto them, and they told Haman to see whether Mordecai's matter would stand, for he had told them that he was a Jew. And when Haman saw that Mordecai bowed not, nor did him reverence, then was Haman full of wrath.
So Haman, man, was somebody that felt that he needed to have that type of quote-unquote respect.
Bring it out.
He felt that Mordecai slighted him by not bowing down unto him, by not listening unto him, showing him reverence. Again, keep in mind the transaction between Mordecai and the information provided for the plot of the king. Keep in mind Haman, upset, mad. Right now he looking at Mordecai with the Stephen face. Give me alt O. Give me that right quick. That's how he looking right now. Right now, that's how Haman face is right now towards Mordecai, bro.
Bring it out.
Right now. Who that nigga on that nag? That's that statement right now, right? Read, Doc.
Verse 6. And he thought scorn to lay hands on Mordecai alone, for they had showed him the people of Mordecai. Wherefore Haman sought to destroy all the Jews.
So he felt disrespected by Mordecai, that he takes his wrath and anger, he seeks to take it upon his people. Keep that in mind again. Mordecai told Esther to what? Not say who was of her people. This is going to play a major role, bro. Read.
Haman sought to destroy all the Jews.
He sought to do what, bro?
Destroy all the Jews.
And so he had it in his mind, man, that he wanted to wipe out the people. Read.
That were throughout the whole kingdom of Ahasuerus, even the people of Mordecai. In the first month, that is, the month Nisan, in the 15th year of King Ahasuerus, they cast pur, that is the lot, before Haman, from day to day, and from month to month, to the 12th month, that is the month Adar. And Haman said unto King Ahasuerus, This is a certain people scattered abroad and dispersed among the people in all the province of thy kingdom, and their laws are diverse from all people. Speaking on that the Israelites, man, are following the word of thus said their God, not the gods of everyone else around them. They're following thus say the Lord. But he's worming his way into the king's ear, saying, "Hey, bro, they don't follow what you say. They follow what their God says, right?" Yeah. Read. Neither keep they the king's law. Therefore, it is not for the king's profit to suffer them. He's saying, man, if they're not going to follow what you have established, man, why keep them? Bring it out. What's so important about them? At this point, they're dead weight. Read. Verse 9. If it please the king, let it be written that they may be destroyed. So he didn't set up in his mind again. He wanted to destroy Mordecai and his people. He said, if it please you, let it be written that they may be destroyed. Read. And I will pay 10,000 talents of silver to the hands of those that have charge of the business, to bring it into the king's treasures. And the king took his ring from his hand and gave it unto Haman, the son of Hammedatha, the Agagite, the Jews' enemy. The what? The Jews' enemy. So
he's already shown himself, man, to be an enemy of the people. He done wormed his way into the ear of the king, man, to establish a decree to wipe out the people of Israel amongst his province. And they would be paid for said destruction to those that enact it. Read on, Doc.
Verse 11. And the king said unto Haman, the silver is given to thee, the people also, to do with them as it seemeth good to thee.
So now Haman has it in his mind. He got the ring of the king. He has the signet, man. He's the voice of the king right now, right? Jump down to 13.
Verse 13. And the letters were sent by post into all the king's province to destroy, to kill, and to cause to perish all Jews.
And to cause to perish all Jews. Read.
Both young and old.
Say both young and old. Read.
Little children.
Little children. Read.
And women.
And what?
And women.
And women, man. It say both young and old, little children and women. Read.
In one day, even upon the 13th day of the 12th month, which is the month Adar, and to take the spoil of them for prey.
So not only to destroy the people, old, young, man, woman, and child, but to also take spoils of them. Read.
Verse 14, the copy of the writing for a commandment to be given in every province was published unto all people, that they should be ready against that day. The post went out, being hastened by the king's commandment, and the decree was given in Shushan, the palace. And the king of Haman sat down to drink, but the city Shushan was perplexed.
It say, man, he sat down with the king, man, down to drink, but the city itself was perplexed as to this decree that has been sent out. Our people spread out amongst the provinces and now being tracked down, bro, as prey. As prey for a slight.
Come on.
For someone who thought themselves to be more than what they are.
Come on.
Put them own selves on a pedestal. Felt that they deserved a sense of respect from an individual.
Bring it out.
And all because they didn't get that. They've made it their mission to destroy them. You don't think that happened right now to this day? Though that same type of spirit is still out right now.
Bring it out.
You got them at your job. You got your frenemies in your friend group, in your circles. This is everywhere. These things weren't just in this dispensation of time, bro. We're still dealing with this right now. We've all met and or witnessed or experienced something like this.
Teach.
Somebody don't want to see you succeed. Somebody felt that they were better than you. Somebody felt that they deserved more than what they got. And felt you deserved less than what you had. Or sought to put themselves in between you and the success. Man, it happens.
Teach.
This is an indication of one of those instances. But see, Mordecai was of the Lord. And it showed in how he brought up Esther and how he carried himself, how he taught. Say, brother, the Lord is going to be your strong tower, and we going to see. Jump over. Chapter 4, verse 1.
The book of Esther, chapter 4, verse 1. When Mordecai perceived all that was done, Mordecai rent his clothes and put on sackcloth with ashes and went out into the midst of the city and cried with a loud and bitter cry and came even before the king's gate, for none might enter into the king's gate clothed with sackcloth. And in every province, whithersoever the king's commandment and his decree came, there was a great mourning among the Jews, and fasting, and weeping, and wailing, and many laid in sackcloth and ashes.
Man, there was a lot of praying going on, man. There was a lot going on. Brothers and sisters, man, setting themselves up for the Lord, bro. Wondering what's going on. So instead of trying to physically fight what's going on, man, they ran to the Lord, bro. They put all of their problems in the hands of the Lord.
Bring it out.
See, some of us, man, we try to do things on our own, man, without seeking that counseling, without seeking that guidance, man, without stepping into that closet, man, and wholeheartedly speaking with the Lord, bro. We get that fleshly mindset, bro, to do whatever, to take it upon ourselves, man, instead of leaning on the power. A lot of us, man, we just jump to conclusions. We make rash decisions, and we don't think, talk, counsel, none of that.
Bring it out.
And then wonder why things don't go the way that we wanted them to, or we were hoping for, or whatever the case may be. This right here is an example, man, of out of nowhere, there's a decree set just because you are who you are, because you serve the Lord, because you want to do, thus say the Lord, you gotta die.
Bring it out.
There's a decree for man, woman, and child, young and old. But the only power you got is the Lord in that point.
Bring it out.
Read on. Right?
Verse 4. So Esther's maids and her chamberlains came and told it her. Then was the queen exceedingly grieved, and she sent raiment to clothe Mordecai, and to take away his sackcloth from him. But he received it not. Then called Esther for Hatak, one of the king's chamberlains, whom he had appointed to attend unto her, and gave him a commandment to Mordecai to know what it was and why it was.
She wants to know what's going on and why he was in sackcloth, why he was putting himself out there like that, and trying to figure out what's going on. Why is Mordecai in such this arrayed state? Read verse 6.
Verse 6. So Hatak went forth to Mordecai unto the street of the city, which was before the king's gate. And Mordecai told him all that had happened unto him, and of the sum of the money that Haman had promised to pay to the king's treasuries for the Jews.
For the what?
For the Jews.
So he told everything that was going on, man. Haman put a hit out on the people, man. He told them, man, they was gonna get this amount of silver, man, for destroying man, woman, and child, young and old of the people. Read.
To destroy them.
To what?
To destroy them.
Read.
Also, he gave him the copy of the writing of the decree that was given at Shushan to destroy them, to show it unto Esther.
Now keep in mind, right? Esther has the favor of the king, man, right now, because of how she presented herself, how she acts, and how she operates. She was told in the beginning not to say of what her people were, or who her people were, excuse me. Again, all of these things is coming into play. Everything is coming full circle. Mordecai already explained as to what's going on, why he's doing what he's doing, and what's going on, and that's about to happen unto the people. Read.
To show it unto Esther, and to declare it unto her, and to charge her that she should go unto the king to make supplication unto him, and to make request before him for her people.
So now that she knows what's going on, or the information is being provided as to what's going on, why he's doing what he's doing, and what's about to happen to the people, he's giving all of this information so it can get back to Esther, so she can go in and plead for her people. Read.
Verse 9. And Hatak came and told Esther the words of Mordecai. Again, Esther spake unto Hatak, and gave him commandment unto Mordecai. All the king's servants and the people of the king's province do know that whatsoever, whether man or woman, shall come unto the king into the inner court, who is not called, there is one law of this, to put him to death.
So unless he was called or brought unto, they were to be put unto death. Read.
Except such to whom the king shall hold out the golden scepter, that he may live. But I have not been called to come unto the king these 30 days. And they told to Mordecai Esther's words. Then Mordecai commanded to answer Esther, think not with thyself that thou shalt escape in the king's house more than all the Jews.
They say, think not just because you're in the house, man, that you can escape the same fate of the people, unless, man, you take heed to what's being said. Unless you take heed unto the instruction being given. Read.
For if thou altogether holdest thy peace at this time, then shall their enlargement and deliverance arise to the Jews from another place. But thou and thy father's house shall be destroyed. And who knoweth whether thou art come to the kingdom for such a time as this?
Jump over to chapter 5, verse 1. Let's get more.
The book of Esther, chapter 5 and verse 1. Now it came to pass on the third day that Esther put on her royal apparel and stood in the inner court of the king's house, over against the king's house. And the king sat upon his royal throne in the royal house, over against the gate of the house. And it was so, when the king saw Esther, the queen, standing in the court, that she obtained favor in his sight. And the king held out to Esther the golden scepter that was in his hand. So Esther drew near and touched the top of the scepter. Then said the king unto her, what would thou, Queen Esther? And what is thy request?
He said, what is your request, man? What are you asking? Read.
And it shall be given thee in thy slacket, and it shall be given thee to the half of the kingdom. And Esther answered, if it seem good unto the king, let the king and Haman come this day unto the banquet that I have prepared for him. Then the king said, cause Haman to make haste, that he may do as Esther hath said. So the king and Haman came to the banquet that Esther had prepared. And the king said unto Esther at the banquet of wine, what is thy petition? And it shall be granted thee. And what is thy request? Even to the half of the kingdom it shall be performed.
So what she did now is she set in play to have the king and Haman together in a banquet. Now, king already asked her, you know what I'm saying, what is your request? What are you needing, right? So she set everything in motion to have said individual that wormed his way into the ear of the king, man, to set a decree to destroy the people. Both people in one place. Now she's going to explain what all of this is for. Before we read on, jump over to chapter 4 and verse 15.
The book of Esther, chapter 4 and verse 15. Then Esther bade them return Mordecai this answer. Go, gather together all the Jews that are present in Shushan, and fast ye for me, and neither eat nor drink 3 days, night or day. I also and my maidens will fast likewise, and so will I go in unto the king, which is not according to the law, and if I perish, I perish. So Mordecai went his way, and did according to all that Esther had commanded him.
So she told him, go get everybody together, man. We're going to do a unit fast, right? We're going to fast and pray for these 3 days, and I myself will do the same thing, and I will go unto the king, man, and plead this case. If I should perish, I perish.
Read out.
Let's go back. Jump down, 5, verse 7.
The book of Esther, chapter 5 and verse 7. Then answered Esther and said, my petition and my request is, if I have found favor in the sight of the king, and if it please the king to grant my petition, and to perform my request, let the king and Haman come to the banquet that I shall prepare for them, and I will do tomorrow as the king hath said. Then went Haman forth that day joyful and with glad heart.
So Haman already he's on airs now, because the queen at the time, Esther, she has asked for not only the king, but for him to be present as well in this banquet. So he's feeling himself right now. Again, Haman and the king don't know that Esther is of the Jews. Read on.
But when Haman saw Mordecai in the king's gate, that he stood not up, nor moved for him, he was full of indignation against Mordecai. Nevertheless, Haman refrained himself, and when he came home, he sent and called for his friends, and Zeresh his wife. And Haman told them of the glory of his riches, and the multitude of his children, and all the things wherein the king had promoted him, and how he had advanced him above the princes and servants of the king. Haman said, moreover, yea, Esther, the queen did not, Esther, the queen did let no man come in with the king unto the banquet, that she had prepared but myself. And tomorrow am I invited unto her also with the king.
See, he feeling himself because he was singled out, man, to be with the king at this banquet. Him and no one else. He was already had an ambitious mind, man, and an ambitious heart to put himself above any and everybody else in the sight of the king, man. So much so that anybody that slighted him, as you can see, he wanted to take him out the picture.
Bring it out.
There's nothing wrong with being ambitious, man. There's nothing wrong with wanting to increase one's station, man, to be better, to become better. But it is a problem when, for you to get to that point, for you to gain that type of success, you got to crush the other one. You know what I'm saying?
Teach.
You got to destroy someone else to get there. That ain't cool. Or because you feel some type of way, because you're emotional, that you go to the extreme. That's dangerous, man. It's dangerous. You reap what you sow, right? It's dangerous.
That's right.
Again, man, there's nothing wrong with being ambitious. There's nothing wrong with wanting to be better. There's nothing wrong with wanting to increase. But there's a way you go about it.
Bring it out.
Read on up.
Verse 13. Yet all this availeth me nothing, so long as I see Mordecai, the Jew, sitting at the king's gate.
He said, man, all of this was cool and all, but it still upsets me that Mordecai, I still see him.
Bring it out.
He ain't show me no respect. He ain't move. He ain't bow down. He ain't do none of that. I'm about to go to the banquet with the king, man. Just me and the king. At the behest of the queen. I'm somebody. And he treated me like nobody. That's that mindset. That's that mindset. All of these things in play, and the only thing he can think about is he ain't get respect from Mordecai. Read.
Verse 14. Then said Zeresh his wife, and all his friends unto him, let a gallows be made of 50 cubits high, and tomorrow speak thou unto the king that Mordecai may be hanged thereon. Then go thou and merrily with the king unto the banquet. And the thing pleased Haman, and he caused the gallows to be made.
So now his wife, man, is telling him, you know what, man? Let's just go on and kill him.
Read up.
Let's just go and get him out the way. If you feel that way, baby, let's go and do something about it. Okay. Chapter 6. Start at verse 1. Read on, bro.
The book of Esther, chapter 6, verse 1. On that night could not the king sleep, and he commanded to bring the book of records of the chronicles, and they were read before the king. And it was found written that Mordecai had told of Bigthana and Teresh, two of the king's chamberlains, the keepers of the door, who sought to lay hand on the king Ahasuerus.
So he was unable to sleep, man. His mind was in array, so he calls upon the book of Chronicles and said, reading these chronicles talks about Mordecai and how he thwarted an attempt on his life.
Bring it out.
Read.
Verse 3. And the king said, what honor and dignity hath been done to Mordecai for this?
So he's wondering, okay, he thwarted this attempt on my life. What have I done for Mordecai to repay him for said feat? Read.
Then said the king's servant that ministered unto him, there is nothing done for him.
So there was nothing done for Mordecai for providing the information to thwart the attempt on the king's life. Couldn't sleep. Mind in an array. And so now he's reading about what Mordecai has done for him. So now it's fresh on his mind.
Read out.
Read on out.
And the king said, who is in the court? Now Haman was come into the outward court of the king's house to speak unto the king to hang Mordecai.
So now Haman, man, so ready, man, to lay down the ploy to kill Mordecai, to have him hung from the gallows that he's created. Read.
To hang Mordecai on the gallows that he had prepared for him. And the king's servant said unto him, behold, Haman standeth in the court. And the king said, let him come in. So Haman came in. And the king said unto him, what shall be done unto the man whom the king delighteth to honor?
So now, Haman not realizing the king just spoke and recalled the chronicles of Mordecai, what he has done for the king, and that Mordecai hasn't received anything for that. And so Haman has asked him, you know what I'm saying, thinking himself as the one being honored because he and the king were requested to be at the banquet from the Queen Esther. He asked him, you know what I'm saying, what type of honor should happen for this man?
Bring it out.
Again, thinking it's for himself. Read.
Verse 6. Now Haman thought in his heart, to whom would the king delight to do honor more than to myself? And Haman answered the king, for the man whom the king delighteth to honor, let the royal apparel be brought which the king useth to wear, and the horse that the king rideth upon, and the crown royal which is set upon his head. And let this apparel and horse be delivered to the hand of one of the king's most noble princes, that they may array the man with whom the king delighteth to honor, and bring him on horseback through the street of the city, and proclaim before him, thus shall it be done to the man whom the king delighteth to honor.
So now Haman is saying all of these things because he thinks that this is for him. So he's saying all of these things that he wants done for himself because he feels like he is the one that the king is trying to honor. So if you got it in your mind that you're going to be quote unquote rewarded for something, you're going to talk it all up. You're going to try to get everything you can and you're going to milk it, right?
Bring it out.
So Haman, hey man, I want to be, you know what I'm saying? If it were me, I'm trying to have me a little parade in my name, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Go and give me the horseback, you know what I'm saying? I want the crown, I want the cape, you know what I'm saying? You know, I'm trying to do it big, you know what I mean? I want that, you know what I'm saying? If it were me, right? If it were me, if this was, you know what I'm saying, for the person you want to honor, you know what I mean? That would be nice. Read on, Doc.
Verse 10. Then the king said to Haman, make haste, and take the apparel and the horse, as thou hast said, and do even so to Mordecai the Jew.
Hold up and do it for who?
And do even so to Mordecai the Jew.
Man, alt 9 right quick. This how Mordecai is right now. Alt 9 on the keypad over there. That's how he looking right now.
Bring it out.
Like, what? Mordecai? I thought I'm the one being honored. I was the one that was asked, you know what I'm saying, personally by the queen, man, to come with you to the banquet. And you want to give it to Mordecai?
Bring it out.
My enemy, the person I'm seeking to kill? I got a gallows already ready for him. I came here to talk to you about killing him.
Bring it out.
And you wanna give him everything I was just talking about for me? Face distraught right now. He's in disbelief. Read.
And do even so to Mordecai the Jew, that sitteth at the king's gate. Let nothing fail of all that has spoken.
Read.
Then took Haman the apparel and the horse, and arrayed Mordecai, and brought him on horseback through the city, through the street of the city, and proclaimed before him, thus shall it be done unto the man whom the king delighteth to honor. And Mordecai came again to the king's gate, but Haman hastened to his house mourning, and having his head covered.
Man, he is in distress right now. He is distraught. Read.
And Haman told Zeresh, his wife, and all his friends everything that had befallen him. Then said his wise men and Zeresh his wife unto him, if Mordecai be of the seed of the Jews, before whom thou hast begun to fall, thou shalt not prevail against him, but shalt surely fall before him.
Say, man, if Mordecai is a Jew and he has the honor of the king, man, this plan ain't gonna work. Read.
And while they were yet talking with him, came the king's chamberlain and hasted to bring Haman unto the banquet that Esther had prepared.
So now everything, man, all the dominoes, man, are falling into play, man. He upset, man. He don't know what's going on, man. He trying to figure out why he's not the one honored when he was requested to come to the banquet. But Mordecai get the parade. Mordecai get the horse, man. Mordecai get the honor.
Bring it out.
That's supposed to be me. Let's keep reading, bro. Chapter 7, verse 1.
The book of Esther, chapter 7, verse 1. So the king and Haman came to banquet with Esther the queen. And the king said again unto Esther on the second day at the banquet of wine, what is thy petition, Queen Esther?
So again, he's asking, okay, what is your request? All right, we've got this banquet set up for me and Haman. I'm saying, what are you requesting? What do you need? Read.
And it shall be granted thee. And what is thy request? And it shall be performed, even to the half of the kingdom. Then Esther, the queen, answered and said, if I have found favor in thy sight, O king, and if it please the king, let my life be given me at my petition, and my people at my request.
Say, let my life be given me at the petition. So again, remember the decree was set out, man, that man, woman, and child, young and old of the Jews be destroyed, and their things taken for spoil. So she's saying, I'm of the Jew. Let my life be spared and my people. Read.
For we are sold, I and my people, to be destroyed.
To be destroyed, read.
To be slain.
To be slain, read.
And to perish.
And to perish, read.
But if we had been sold for bondmen and bondwomen, I had held my tongue, although the enemy could not countervail the king's damage. Then the king, Ahasuerus, answered and said unto Esther the queen, who is he, and where is he, that dost presume in his heart to do so?
So he asked her, hey man, who is this that got it in their mind that they can kill you?
Bring it out.
Who got it in their mind, man, to hurt you, to cause harm upon you? Who is that? Who is this individual, man, that think himself to do these things? Read.
And Esther said, the adversary and enemy is this wicked Haman.
He say the adversary and enemy is Haman. He right there. He next to you.
Teach.
Read.
Then Haman was afraid before the king.
Hey, alt 5. That's him right now. Right now. That's him. Sweating. Shaking in his boots.
Bring it out.
Don't know what's going on. Read out.
Then Haman was afraid before the king and the queen. And the king, arising from the banquet of wine in his wrath, went into the palace garden. And Haman stood up to make requests for his life.
He stood up, man, to hold. Wait, hold on, king. Wait. To plead for his life. You see why it's so important, man, if you're going to do things, man, do things right, man.
Bring it out.
Like, you know what I'm saying? It's cool to want to progress, man. It's cool to want to you know what I'm saying, increase. It's cool to have that ambition, man, to be better. But how you go about it is how you're going to receive it.
Teach.
You reap what you sow. If you have wicked and evil thoughts, man, to do said unto someone, man, don't you think those same wicked and evil thoughts are going to be done back unto you? You reap what you sow, man. Ill-gotten gain.
Teach.
You will have an ill-gotten end, man. Read.
And Haman stood up to make request for his life to Esther the queen, For he saw that there was evil determined against him by the king.
But how can it be evil if evil was already, you know what I'm saying? Read, bro.
Verse 8. Then the king returned out of the palace garden into the palace of the banquet of wine. And Haman was fallen upon the bed whereon Esther was.
So he out here trying to plead his case, man. Hold up, man. You know what I'm saying? Don't do it like, don't do me like that, man. I didn't know. I didn't know. Read.
Then said the king, will he force the queen also before me in the house?
So you didn't set yourself up. You didn't put yourself in a very precarious situation, Haman.
Teach.
So not only did you seek to destroy her and her people, now it looks as if you're trying to force yourself upon her on the bed. It's a very precarious situation. Read.
As the word went out of the king's mouth, they covered Haman's face. Verse 9. And Harbona, one of the chamberlains, said before the king, behold also the gallows, 50 cubits high, which Haman had made for Mordecai.
So now the gallows that he had made for Mordecai has been noticed. Read.
Who had spoken good for the king, standeth in the house of Haman. Then the king said, hang him thereon.
Whoa, so now the same device that you've created, man, to destroy Mordecai is the same device used for your undoing.
Bring it out.
Man. The same evil thought that you had to do unto someone else, that same evil thought is now being done unto you. Whew. Read, Doc.
So they hung Haman.
Woo, they did what, Doc?
They hung Haman.
Read.
On the gallows that he had prepared for Mordecai. Then was the king's wrath pacified.
So not only, man, was he trying to take out the people, but because the queen is of those people, the queen already had favor with the king. Mordecai had favor with the king. So his plan to destroy was 40. Chapter 8, man. Verse 1.
The book of Esther, chapter 8 and verse 1. On that day did the king Ahasuerus give the house of Haman, the Jews' enemy, unto Esther the queen. And Mordecai came before the king, for Esther had told what he was unto her. And the king took off his ring, which he had taken from Haman, and gave it unto Mordecai. And Esther set Mordecai over the house of Haman.
So, once Esther told the king what Mordecai was to her, which was a father figure, right? He raised her. The same favor or honor that Haman received from having the ring of the king was taken from him and given to Mordecai. And now Mordecai is in charge of the house of Haman. Read on, Doc.
Verse 3. And Esther spake yet again before the king, and fell down at his feet, and besought him with tears to put away the mischief of Haman, the Agagite, and his devices that he had devised against the Jews.
So now she's pleading, man, for him to do away with the decree to destroy man, woman, and child, young and old of the Jews. Read.
Then the king held out the golden scepter toward Esther. So Esther arose and stood before the king and said, if it please the king, and if I have found favor in his sight, and the thing seem right before the king, and I be pleasing in his eyes, let it be written to reverse the letters devised by Haman, the son of Hammedatha, the Agagite, which he wrote to destroy the Jews, which are in all the king's province. For how can I endure to see the evil that shall come upon my people? Or how can I endure to see the destruction of my kindred? Then the king Ahasuerus said unto Esther the queen, and to Mordecai the Jew, behold, I have given Esther the house of Haman, and him they have hanged upon the gallows, because he had laid his hands upon the Jews. Write ye also for the Jews, as it liketh you, in the king's name, and seal it with the king's ring. For the writing which is written in the king's name, and sealed with the king's ring, may no man reverse.
So he's saying, man, to reverse the damage that could have been done by the decree of Haman, to rewrite these things, seal it with the king's ring, that no man can reverse. Read on.
Then were the king's scribes.
Jump down to verse 11.
Verse 11. Wherein the kings granted the Jews, which were in every city, to gather themselves together, and to stand for their life, to destroy, to slay, and to cause to perish all the power of the people and province that would assault them, both little ones, people, Salaki, both little ones and women, and to take the spoil of them for a prey.
Read.
Upon one day in all the province of kings Ahasuerus, namely, upon the 13th day of the 12th month, which is the month Adar, the copy of the writing of a commandment to be given in every province and published unto all people, and that the Jews should be ready against that day to avenge themselves on their enemies. So the post that rode upon mules and camels went out, has hastened and pressed on by the king's commandment, and the decree was given at Shushan the palace. And Mordecai went out from the presence of the king in royal apparel of blue and white, and with a great crown of gold, and with a garment of fine linen and purple, and with the city of Shushan rejoiced and was glad. The Jews had light and gladness and joy and honor, and in every province and in every city, whitherso the king's commandment and his decree came, the Jews had joy and gladness and feast and a good day. And many of the people of the land became Jews, for the fear of the Jews fell upon them.
Read that last part again.
Verse 17. And in every province and in every city, whitherso the king's commandment and his decree came, the Jews had joy and gladness and feast and a good day. And many of the people of the land became Jews.
And many of the people of the land became Jews. Many of the people of the land decided to start following the Lord. Read.
For the fear of the Jews fell upon them.
Because again, what did Esther tell Mordecai to have the people do? To fast and pray, man, to show their supplication unto the Lord, man. The people saw that they have favor. The people saw that their God, bro, is fighting for them. Strong tower. That defense, that rock.
Bring it out.
Their faith unshaken. It's powerful, man. That's powerful.
Bring it out.
Read on, chapter 9, verse 1.
The book of Esther, chapter 9 and verse 1. Now, in the 12th month, that is the month Adar, on the 13th day of the same, when the king's commandment and his decree drew near to be put in execution in the day that the enemies of the Jews hope to have power over them.
So again, it say the 13th day of the 12th month of Adar. Again, this was put out to destroy the Jews. But this day now has been flipped for a joyous occasion.
Bring it out.
The 13th day of the 12th month, Adar. Read.
Though it was turned to the contrary, that the Jews had ruled over them that hated them. The Jews gathered themselves together in the cities throughout all the province of the king Ahasuerus to lay hand on such as sought their hurt, and no man could withstand them, for the fear of them fell upon all people. And all the rulers of the province, and the lieutenants, and the deputies, and officers of the king helped the Jews because the fear of Mordecai fell upon them.
Man, that's the favor, man, that the Lord has displayed upon Mordecai, man.
Bring it out.
By being a righteous father unto Esther, man, training up the child and whether they should go. Showing her what righteous man is, man. Showing her how to be soft, man. Showing her how to be a lady. Teaching her through his actions, man, how he dealt with her. That's why, again, man, go back to why it's important to have both sides in the household, man.
Bring it out.
For my brothers that have daughters, bro, you want your daughter to seek a man, bro, of your caliber or better.
Bring it out.
By how you treated her, by how you treated her mother. When they meet said interest, man, if they can't do what the father has done, show them that same love and affection and respect, man, and was able to provide,
Teach.
they don't need him. That's important, man. Because right now, that's not being taught. That conversation is not being had. Not on the scale it should be. And that's why it's so important, man, that we follow Christ, man. That we follow his teachings, man. That we show our light, man. We let our light so be shine, man. We let it shine in our actions and our speech and how we carry ourselves and how we tend to our homes, man. How we tend to our children. How we tend to our spouses. It's important. This day came about because of how Mordecai and Esther were. How the people were. Read.
Verse 4. For Mordecai was great in the king's house, and his fame went out throughout all the province. For this man Mordecai waxed greater and greater. Thus the Jews smote all their enemies with the smote of the sword, and slaughter, and destruction, and did what they would unto those that hated them.
He said, man, they smote them, man, with the stroke of the sword. Jump down to verse 12.
Verse 12. And the king said unto Esther the queen, the Jews have slain and destroyed 500 men in Shushan, the palace, and the 10 sons of Haman. What have they done in the rest of the king's province? Now, what is thy petition? And it shall be granted thee. Or what is thy request further? And it shall be done. Then said Esther, if it please the king, let it be granted to the Jews which are in Shushan to do tomorrow also according unto this day decree, and let Haman 10 sons be hanged upon the gallows.
So now the rest of the family, man, that had the same mindset as him, that wanted to do the same evil and vile and wickedness unto the Jews,
Teach.
get their just due. Read.
And the king commanded it so to be done, and the decree was given at Shushan. And they hanged Haman's 10 sons.
They also hung the sons. Jump down to verse 16.
Verse 16. But the other Jews that were in the king's province gathered themselves together and stood for their lives, and had rest from their enemies, and slew of their foes 75,000. But they laid not their hands on the prey. On the 13th day of the month Adar, and on the 14th day of the same rested they, and made it a day of feasting and gladness.
So all of this happened on the 13th day and the 14th day of the month of Hadar.
Bring it out.
Israel prevailed against the enemies that sought to be them slain, and they rested. Read.
But the Jews that were at Shushan assembled together on the 13th day thereof, and on the 14th day, on the 14th thereof, and on the 15th day of the same they rested, and made it a day of feasting and gladness. Therefore, the Jews of the villages that dwelt in the unwallowed towns made the 14th day of the month Adar a day of gladness and feasting, and a good day, and of sending portions one to another. And Mordecai wrote these things, and sent letters unto all the Jews that were in all the province of the king Ahasuerus, both nigh and far, to establish this among them, that they should keep the 14th day of the month Adar, and the 15th day of the same yearly.
So the 14th day and the 15th day, these days should be counted as celebration yearly in the month of Adar. Read.
Verse 22. As the days wherein the Jews rested from their enemies, and the month which was turned unto them from sorrow to joy, and from mourning into a good day, and they should make them days of feasting and joy, and of sending portions one to another, and gifts to the poor. And the Jews undertook to do as they had begun, and as Mordecai had written unto them.
So the Feast of Purim, man, is a day, man, established to show that we overcome adversity, man. Just like any other story that we read about our brothers and sisters, our forefathers and our foremothers, man, overcoming adversity through the power of the Lord. By us being righteous, by us following thus say the Lord, by us doing what needs to be done, man, that protection is going to be there. This day was established, man, to show that. The 14th and the 15th day of the 12th month, Adar. To express, man, the joy and the happiness, man, of being protected by the Lord.
Bring it out.
To show charity amongst your brothers and sisters. A time of gladding and cheer. Because it could have been the other way around. Read.
Verse 24. Because Haman, the son of Hammedatha, the Agagite, the enemy of all the Jews, had devised against the Jews to destroy them, and had cast Pur, that is the lot to consume them and to destroy them.
Purim, man, was established, man, to destroy the people. Read.
But when Esther came before the king, he commanded by letters that his wicked device, which he devised against the Jews, should return upon his own head, and that he and his sons should be hanged on the gallows. Wherefore they came these days Purim.
Say, wherefore they called these days Purim. Read.
Wherefore they called these days Purim, after the name of Pur. Therefore, for all the words of this letter, and of that which they had seen concerning this man, and which had come unto them, the Jews ordained and took upon them, and upon their seed, and upon all such as joined to themselves unto them, so as it should not fail, that they would keep these 2 days according to their writing, and according to their appointed time every year, and that these days should be remembered and kept throughout every generation, every family, every province, and every city, and that these days of Purim should not fail from among the Jews, nor the memorial of them perish from their seed.
This day, man, it says that we should be established, man, from generation to generation, that it should never perish. Read.
Then Esther the queen, the daughter of Abihail, and Mordecai the Jew, wrote with all authority to confirm his second letter of Purim. And he sent the letters unto all the Jews, to the 127 province of the kingdom of Ahasuerus, with words of peace and truth, to confirm these days of Purim, and their times appointed according as Mordecai, the Jew, and Esther the queen, had enjoined them, and as they had decreed for themselves and for their seed, the matters of the fasting and their cries.
See, the matter of their fasting and their cries, man, showing their supplication unto the Lord, man, to show that protection is there, man. Being one with the Lord, adhering to the instruction. Every teacher has talked about the importance, man, of following the instruction of the Father.
Bring it out.
The instruction of the parent, man. Your parent is not going to tell you not to do something just because they want you to not do it. They're telling you not to do it for a reason. 9 times out of 10, it's going to hurt you in some form or fashion, whether it be emotional, whether it be physical or spiritual. Take heed unto the instruction of the father. Take heed of the instruction of the mother when they tell you something, because it is for your protection. That is what the Lord is doing. He provided these instructions as a way for us to combat the things that can harm us, to combat the things that seek to kill us, to combat the things, man, that seek to destroy our minds, man, to combat the things that seek to provide confusion. This is for our protection. And this is another feast day to bring that into play, man, to call to remembrance, to adhere to the instruction of the Father. Because it could have went the other way around. All of us, every last one of us right now that's in this class, man, that's watching this class, has disobeyed an instruction of their parent at some point in time and paid for it. Some great, some small. I dang near burned my hand off. I was told not to put metal in the socket. Guess what I did? I put a paper clip in the socket. Burnt all the skin off my hand.
Bring it out.
Cried myself to sleep. I was in so much pain. Guess what? Never did it again, I can tell you that. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a reason for the instruction of the parent, man, is to protect the seed.
Bring it out.
This is taught to call to remembrance, man, to listen, to be in order. Finish it out.
Verse 32. And the decree of Esther confirmed these matters of Purim, and it was written in the book.
Man. Now, I advise everybody, man, to just go in and reread this book. You know what I'm saying? I skipped around to for time purposes, but just go and reread it. Right. The power you hold by being righteous, man. The power you hold by being in order. The power you hold by listening, man, puts you above the rest. Again, my sisters, man, your power in the household, man, of that softness of being a lady, man, it gets you way further than being masculine. I can tell you that. Brother, you have more respect in your house by putting your foot down, man, and being a man versus being a little cat, being a little mouse in your house. A woman, bro, she's not going to respect a man that's not a leader. As a father, man, I wouldn't want my daughter to be tied, man, to a millstone that's just gonna drag her and the household down by not being a man, man. By not adhering to the will of the Lord, by not following instruction themselves. Because to be a leader, you also have to be a follower. You have to understand and know how to take instruction, to take criticism, man, to implement these things to be better. To be a great leader, you have to know how to listen and implement. It's important. On that we say shalom.